Hello, Avila Advantage Money Banking students. I want to introduce myself. I'm Joe Barnhill. I'll be with you all for the next 8 weeks in our Money and Banking course. I'm looking forward to working with you all. I know we have a large cohort, and main thing is to get in there earlier in the week and jump into the forum discussions. We'll have those each week. Our first week, we kind of ease into things. We look at chapters 1, 2, and 3. These are rather brief chapters, but the initial chapter kind of gives an overview of the textbook. Kind of discussion of the course ties into the banking system, the financial system, the Federal Reserve, monetary policy, an overview of the overall aggregate economy and how these things all tie together. And then in our next chapter, they get into much more definition, chapter 2, about definitions of money. In order to be defined as money, you've got to have a unit account, store of value, and medium of exchange. And we go into more details and more levels of money on a macro level. We look at M1 and M2, M1 being cash and deposits and checking accounts, and M2 including all of M1 but less liquid assets. And they can be anything from savings accounts to small CDs and time deposits. But the Federal Reserve, they look quite a bit at these numbers, making sure there's the right amount of money in the economy to facilitate exchange as needed in the economy. And in this economic environment right now, as we'll talk more about in this course, there is a lot of money out there. That's why short-term rates are so low, and there's been these series of quantitative easing 1, 2, and 3. And one of the things that I want you to do during this course is watch more about the news and financial information. And as you read these things in your textbook, so it starts to make more sense to you when they discuss these things on the news about the economy or the Federal Reserve Bank or something going on with financial institutions, you'll be able to tie it back to your learning. As a fun thing out there, I put a notification about a change coming to the $10 bill, potentially in the year 2020. And the Treasury Secretary now of the United States is asking for input on who should be that woman on the $10 bill. Because I think there's only been like 4 people in the past history, and they've been on coins, and I think George Washington's wife was on a dollar bill. And that kind of leads to what we talk about our farm discussion this week a little bit after I asked you to post a bio to talk about how you make payments. I haven't got to the updated technology. I still have a stupid phone. But I know that some people make payments with their phone these days, and it's always evolving, always changing. We still use checks in our system because we have such a good system with checks. When I was talking to a guy at Commerce Bank the other day, actually I had to have my credit card renewed because someone out in California was trying to charge at a CVS store on my account number, so they got a hold of it somehow, but luckily they denied the transaction in California. But at least they're coming out with smart chip technology that, at least for on the retail level, any type of fraud is going to be pretty much impossible going forward. That can still happen on the internet. So it's kind of a balance to try to keep up with the technology and keep up with the crooks too. So, but with that, throughout this course, we're going to have opportunities to kind of discuss and tie in current events. And again, I encourage you to kind of engage with your peers in this course. I'll try to respond to all of you on at least the initial post. But do make sure to post with your other peers. And if you have any questions, also just send those to me via email. But what I'll do with these video lectures is I'll put them out there every week. I might do it on Friday for the coming week, but we always start our week on Mondays, so it'd be some point in the weekend that I would post the mini lecture. And it's just my style to give you some insight and kind of give you a connection to get to know me a little bit better too. Kind of wrap things up for this week. Tying more into that third chapter and kind of throughout the course is that discussion of the financial markets. And this textbook is a little dated. I know in the next go around we should have a newer version of the textbook, because this is almost like pre-financial crisis from 2008, 2009. So there obviously has been a lot of regulation and change in the financial industry. Banks are required to keep more capital, and there's been kind of on the bank side, at least for their argument, that it's too restrictive, especially Wall Street firms, but other large financial institutions like Bank of America or Citibank, that it doesn't allow them to be profitable, and they would like to go into other areas of business. But at the same time, the regulators, the federal government says, hey, this is what got you in trouble. So what is a compromise that we can still have a sound financial system. And overall, I do feel we have a good financial system. And they talk about the text bill about financial intermediaries. They can be anything from insurance companies to mutual funds to savings and thrifts to credit unions to commercial banks. So they all work to kind of take our funds and they go out and reinvest those funds in other markets to make more money. But if everything works properly, it's a great system that can foster growth in an economy. And that's kind of what we want to make sure is, it's the federal level or in the industry, that we have the right institutions in place to make sure that things run smoothly. So, well, that's it for this week. But again, I just want to say a quick little intro. Again, I'll be doing these every week. I'll post a little video lecture. But there's PowerPoints out there in the modules. How I do it in Canvas, you'll kind of notice it's run by modules, so it's kind of week by week. And then we'll put other helpful resources out there as we go along the course, and other maybe interest articles as things pop up daily about things going on within banking, because I want to keep it tied to current events too. So otherwise, have a great week, and we'll talk to you online. Take care.